Hey, college algebra. In today's video, we're going to be talking about system of inequalities. So in this lesson, you guys are going to learn how to graph a system of inequalities by hand. So here's our system of inequalities. In the region where they're both shaded in is all of our possible solutions. So let's get started. Before we look at a system of inequalities, let's just start off with a single inequality. So first, let's get y by itself. Now y is less than or equal to 2x plus 3. Okay, so now let's graph the line of this. So we have 3 as our y-intercept, slope's -2. Okay, so we drew a line, but now we have to figure out where to shade our graph. So here, we're looking at a less than or equal to. So we look at a single point, always like to look at the y-intercept. And since it's less than or equal to, it's going to be below the line. Now, you might say that it's this region below it, but I want to show you guys how to check this because we'll be working with things that aren't linear and a little more difficult to check. So anyways, let's pick a point below the line. Let's pick the origin. So we'll put 0 in for y. It's less than or equal to -2 times 0 plus 3. So we have 0 is less than or equal to 3. Check. And so since this works out, we have shown that this region is where we'll shade everything. Okay, so we've looked at one equation. Let's go ahead and look at a system of equations. First thing we do, set everything, or set y by itself. So if y is greater than or equal to -x plus 2, we'll have y is less than, oops, hold up. If I do this, this one's going to be a little different. Okay, but now we're dividing by a -1, right? So our signs are going to flip. Okay, notice what I did here. Divided by -1, and our sign flipped. Okay, so let's graph these two lines. This one will be my red line. Y-intercept, -x, or -1 is our slope. Okay, and now we'll look at our green line right here. -4 is our y-intercept, and our slope is 2. Okay, but let's figure out where to shade our lines. So here, we're looking at that y is greater than or equal to our line. So let's go ahead and put this point into our line, which would be 0, 4. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Okay, so y is equal to 4. X is 0. So, getting that 4 is greater than or equal to 2. Check. So this will be our shaded region right here. Let's shade everything above the red line. Okay, but now let's look at our green line right here. Now it's y is also greater than. So let's go ahead and put in a point above it. The point 0, 0, or our origin, is above it, right? So let's go ahead and put 0 in for a y. So we get 0 is greater than or equal to -4. Check, that works. So let's go ahead and shade everything above it. Now notice here, where they're overlapping, we'll get all the shaded region, then this, and everything above it are going to be all of our possible solutions. So right here are our solutions. Okay. Let's look at one more system, and then we'll move on to something that's not linear. Okay. Get y by itself. We do that, we'll have y is less than or equal to 1 half x, or negative 1 half x, plus 1. And you'll have y is greater than or equal to negative 1 half x plus 3. Notice that these slopes are the same, so these lines are going to be parallel. That's going to help us here in a second. So let's graph our red line first. So 1's our intercept, negative 1 half's our slope. Let's go ahead and make that a little bit more accurate. All right, and now let's graph this other line. 3 is our y-intercept, negative 1 half is our slope. Now notice these lines are parallel, so they'll never intersect. So when we're looking at our red line, y is less than this point. So we look at a point, draw a line underneath it. So when we check it, we'll get that all of our solutions going to be down here. And this one's greater than or equal to. So we look at our y-intercept, draw a line above it. And all of our solutions are going to be up here. Okay, but since these lines will never intersect, there will be no dual shaded area. Therefore, this means no solutions. Okay, now let's look at something that isn't linear. So before we can start graphing these, let's go ahead and find where these two lines will intersect. And so in order to find where they intersect, we're going to use substitution. We're going to substitute this x squared minus 4 into this y, because this all equals y. All right, so when we do that, we'll have x plus x squared minus 4 is greater than or equal to, or whoops, is less than or equal to 2. Okay, set it equal to 0. X squared plus x minus 6 is less than or equal to 0. You can factor this down, right? To be x plus 3, x minus 2 equals, or is less than or equal to 0. And so we'll have x is equal to negative 3, and x is equal to 2. All right, all we need to do now is find our y values that match up with these x's. So let's go ahead and put these x values back into this equation right here. And so we'll have negative 3 plus y is less than or equal to 2. And here, I'm just going to say equals 2 because we're just looking for a point on the line, not anything below it. And so we'll have y is equal to 5. So here we get the point, negative 3, comma 5. And now let's go ahead and put 2 in to that equation. We'll get y is equal to 0, so we'll get the point 2, comma 0. Now let's go ahead and graph those points. 2, comma 0 is right here. Negative 3, comma 5 is right here. Okay, so now let's set this line right here to be, or set y by itself. All right, now let's graph them. We'll use the red marker for our parabola, so down 4 for our y-intercept, and let's graph it. Okay. Now we have to graph our linear line. So our y-intercept is 2. We have a negative 1 as our slope. Okay, so to figure out where y is greater than x squared minus 4, like what I said earlier, pick a point on the graph, greater than or equal to. So it should be above it, but let's go ahead and check it by picking a point above that one. So the point 0, 0 is above that point, so let's plug that in and check. So I have 0 is greater than or equal to 0 squared minus 4, or 0 is greater than or equal to negative 4. Check, it is. So then our shaded region is just going to be everything right here. Now let's look at our green line. And it says less than or equal to. So, like I said, let's pick the point on our y-intercept. And it's got to be something less than. So we pick 0. We'll find that our region shaded is just down here. So the intersection region is just going to be everything in this area. And that's our solution right there. Okay, so in today's video, you guys learned how to graph a system of inequalities by hand. I hope this video helped you guys better understand system of inequalities and what they look like graphically. There will be a couple nightly questions posted below this video, and I hope you guys have a great weekend.